So on September 29th, 2025, the Hyundai Rotem YouTube channel published this video to their channel, giving us the most accurate visuals thus far of the K2PL. In case you haven't heard, the K2PL is a main battle tank that is based on the South Korean K2 Black Panther, but has been modified to Polish specifications and will be built in Poland. So let's pick apart the video and go over the terms of the deal that Poland has struck with the K2's original manufacturer, Hyundai Rotem. First, going over the video, we can see that there are 4 key features of the K2PL. 1. An upgraded SAP, or Special Armor Package. 2. An ADS, or Anti-Drone System. 3. The RCWS, or Remote-Controlled Weapon Station. And 4. APS, or Active Protection System. There aren't too many details about this upgraded Special Armor Package, with various media outlets describing it with words like improved, additional, increased, enhanced, and robust. At the same time, ArmyRecognition.com notes that the K2PL has additional explosive reactive armor blocks. Additionally, Polish military site Defense24.com notes that the K2 uses state-of-the-art composite armor elements, and so we should thus see something similar and, well, perhaps even better. The next features are the Anti-Drone System and Active Protection System, ADS and APS respectively. Autono.net states this essentially offers 2 layers of protection against drones. The first, ADS, brings down drones using electronic warfare or EW. This means scrambling and interfering with the wireless signals controlling/communicating with an unmanned aerial system. And then the second layer physically shoots down drones using APS Trophy. Indeed, it was on September 6, 2025 that Rafael and Hyundai Rotem officially signed an agreement to equip K2 tanks with Trophy. Breaking Defense explains the Trophy is a miniaturized missile defense system that goes on an armored vehicle. Requiring multiple radars, it uses a powerful computer to make sense of the data in a fraction of a second. Trophy then fires miniaturized versions of EFPs, or explosively formed projectiles. Now, in case you didn't figure it out yourself, Trophy doesn't specifically target drones, but of course drones are included in the types of projectiles that APS would protect a tank against. And then there's the Remote-Controlled Weapon Station. The name is more or less self-explanatory in that it's remote-controlled. However, for those unaware, this typically uses a light or medium-caliber weapon system. For example, Elbit Systems' RCWS can be adapted to use 7.62mm or 12.7mm caliber weapons. However, it can also be used with 30mm or 40mm automatic grenade launchers. For the K2PL, reports indicate that the RCWS will be a 12.7mm system. Other than the 4 key features shown in this frame, the video also highlights that the K2PL has a hydro-pneumatic suspension system which allows it to lean. We then see this feature called attitude control. ArmyRecognition.com explains that the tank also features an adjustable suspension system that allows changes in posture and ground clearance for increased survivability and firing precision. The tank will also have an automatic loading system for its 120mm smoothbore gun, which effectively reduces the required crew from 4 personnel to 3. It should also translate to a faster rate of fire compared to relying on a human loader. So that's what we know about the K2PL thus far. In terms of what the Polish military has committed to, we know that on August 6, 2025, Poland ordered an additional 180 K2 tracked main battle tanks from Hyundai Rotem, with this deal valued at $6.5 billion. This recent deal is on top of an initial batch of 180 K2 tanks produced in South Korea, known as the GF configuration. These MBTs were acquired in 2022 and were part of a deal that also included K9 self-propelled howitzers. DSEI UK explains that with the August 2025 agreement, the first 116 tanks will be K2 GFs and will be produced in South Korea, with deliveries due between 2026 and 2027. Then the remaining 64 tanks will be in the K2PL configuration. The first 3 of these will be manufactured in South Korea before production moves to Poland for the remaining 61. It's added that the K2PL tanks are set to be delivered between 2028 and 2030, and production will be led by the Polish manufacturer Bumar-Łabędy, which is part of the Polish armaments group. Remember this name. We'll get back to them later on. In addition to tanks, the Polish armed forces will also receive additional vehicles: 31 armored repair and evacuation vehicles, 25 engineering vehicles, and 25 bridge layers. In addition, the contract includes a comprehensive logistics package: training, service, repair, and, most importantly, technology transfer. Technology transfer means that Hyundai Rotem will equip Polish firms with tools and production equipment to establish a K2PL tank assembly line and accompanying vehicles. The contract also includes a significant supply of ammunition. And so, when it comes to domestic Polish production, this video we found on the Wojskowe Zakłady Motoryzacyjne, or Military Automotive Plant website, gives us quite a bit of detail about local suppliers/contractors. The page that hosts the video starts off by saying that WZM is a, quote, authorized maintenance, repair, overhaul, production of K2/K2PL tanks, although this information now seems to be a bit inaccurate or out of date. That's because, as we mentioned earlier, the facility known as Zakłady Mechaniczne Bumar-Łabędy has been chosen to be the main production center of K2PL tanks. The website polskazbrojna.pl states that the decision was made after analyzing the potential of both Bumar-Łabędy and Wojskowe Zakłady Motoryzacyjne. In the end, it was decided that the former had greater opportunities for development and would provide the right conditions for such a large program. When it comes to the quote-unquote Polonization of the K2s, it's stated that the Polish facilities will not just assemble the vehicles. Instead, Bumar-Łabędy will be responsible for, among others, the production of hulls and towers, while Huta Stalowa Wola for cannons. WSK Galis will prepare automatic loading machines and Bumar-Mykulczyce suspension systems. So it sounds like a lot of the WZM video is accurate, except for the WZM part. So there you have it. While a lot of Europe has opted to exclusively go with the Leopard 2 and/or domestic versions of the German main battle tank, Poland is heading down a more unique path with South Korean tanks and technology transfer from South Korea. Of course, it's worth noting that Poland is also a customer of the American M1 Abrams and used German Leopard 2A4s. It also reportedly still has the old PT-91 Twardie in its collection. Unfortunately for Poland, its Bumar-Łabędy-led Leopard 2PL upgrade work has seen several delays due to various technical and supply chain issues, and polskazbrojna.pl states that the firm has modernized 82 Leopard 2A4s into Leopard 2PLs, and the rest are to be ready by 2027. But, well, Poland's diverse fleet of tanks and its Leopard modernization challenges will need to wait for a future video. That's it for today, and so we have to ask what you think of Poland's deal for the K2PL. Let us know by leaving a comment.